Hey, what's up guys, it's Marv and welcome back to another Asphalt Legends Unite video, and we are back to somewhat of a normal video. But before we get into the spotlight event for the VENOM F5, I would like to point you guys into the description box of this video where you'll find some of my social media links, including my Instagram account where I've been doing some awesome car photography if you want to check that out. I also will have a link to the Discord channel where you guys can chat with me and hang out with the community. It's always a fun time in there, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. But let's get back into the spotlight. So if you didn't know, we are currently going through the Stars and Stripes Reignited event here in Alu, and essentially it's the spotlight event for the Hennessy VENOM F5. And I have been waiting for an event like this for literal years because I've been trying desperately to get my hands on this car for those couple of years, and it never really happened up until now. I was sort of teased with it in the beginning of the multiplayer changes where guaranteed blueprints for the VENOM F5 were included in the leaderboard rewards, and then they were removed and everyone started freaking out, including me, until we learned that eventually we would get a spotlight event. But even though I did finally unlock the VENOM F5, and you'll see me doing that in this video, I still have my reservations for this event, and I've been thinking overall about the spotlight event, so I want to go through some of my thoughts for this event, as well as a little tiny review for the F5, which you're seeing in the Gold Max multiplayer mode, but it's the Nitro crazy mode where you get less nitro if you're in first place, so it's a little different than it would normally be, but either way, this is a great car. But let's talk about the event for a little bit first. So obviously, if you've played a spotlight event before, you'll know exactly what's going on. You go through a couple of the featured tracks, pick up some of the collectibles, and if you pick up enough of them and have maybe your car at a certain star count, not only will you get some guaranteed blueprints for that car, but you'll also get some packs to open for a special currency, which you can use in the shop, in addition to other guaranteed blueprints as well. So for the VENOM F5 specifically, because that's the main focus of this video, you can get 40 blueprints guaranteed if you get 5 collectibles on the track, and you can also buy 2 blueprints per refresh in the shop. And that's really going to be my main disappointing point for the spotlight event, is that shop. Now, it used to be a lot worse and I was considering making a video on it, but Gameloft finally removed the 1 blueprint type of purchase, so it's no longer super disappointing where you click on that refresh button and you only get to buy 1 blueprint. Maybe I did mention it in a previous video, but either way, they removed it and now the minimum is 2 blueprints. But in my opinion, that's still not quite enough, because the refreshes get very expensive as you go on. Now, in my opinion, if you pay the 200 tokens to get those 2 blueprints, because you can get the currency for free, you're really paying 200 tokens to get 2 blueprints, which isn't that bad. It's about what you'd get in the packs, but of course you can get lucky in packs, whereas here it's a direct exchange. The problem is there are no packs. So because this event runs for a limited amount of time, you have a limited amount of refreshes. And if you want to wait for those refreshes, they can be, I think, like 17 hours or something ridiculous like that. You don't get multiple free refreshes per day. So if you're a free-to-play user, you're most likely going to get 4 blueprints per day. And if you're starting from 0 out of 85 blueprints and you only get the 40 free blueprints, well, you can see where the math is going with that one. It's going to take you a very long time to even unlock the car, so don't even think about starring it up. And honestly, I have my reservations about getting to 2 stars. I'm hopeful that I can. And I was very lucky that I actually started with, I believe, around 30 or 40 blueprints because I had that exposure to those multiplayer rewards in the past. So I unlocked this car pretty easily. I mean, obviously I got it today, so I didn't have to wait for many days after the event already started. So hopefully I can get it to 2 stars, but maybe that's probably the maximum amount I'm going to get, which is really disappointing because that leads me into how good this car is. So just to reiterate, I'm playing with the Gold Max VENOM F5 in the current multiplayer 2 series, where the green nitro bottles limits your nitro depending on where you are in the race. So if you're in last place, you're going to get a lot of shockwaves, whereas if you're in first place, that nitro and drifting isn't really going to get you any nitro at all. So that's sort of an interesting take on things. In my opinion, it's not the best game mode, but it certainly mixes things up. But irregardless of the nitro stuff, let's talk about the car because this is without a doubt one of the best cars in the game. With some of my recent high-end S-Class unlocks, for example the Zenvo and the CC850, I've been a little disappointed with the handling of those cars. I always thought that previously the Koenigsegg Jesko was like the peak of S-Class handling, where irregardless of what the stat was, that car would go around a corner sharper than anything else I had in the garage. And I was waiting for a very long time to get another S-Class car that could do the same. And this Venom F5 is certainly the case. It's one of those cars where you have to rewire your brain to think about how you handle an Asphalt Legends Unite, because over the course of 5 years, you're sort of used to cars acting like boats compared to Asphalt 8, where those cars go around corners like featherweights, whereas here, well, they feel like Dodge Challengers. But with this car, it is the opposite. You can go around corners insanely fast. Sometimes you'll actually see me go around a corner and I think I should have to take a wider angle, but then I end up smacking into a wall because I'm actually too fast for my own good. And in my opinion, that's a good problem to have. However, the other major actual problem with this car is that most people are only going to have this at 1 or 2 stars. And unfortunately right now I just can't give an accurate description of what this car is going to be like in real multiplayer at a low star count, but I can't imagine it's going to be anything really good. So if you're able to get this car at a very high star count, like you can just waste tokens on your refreshes and you have tons of currency from the event to spend on the blueprints, then I think it's a great idea. Obviously, I mean, it's one of the best cars in the game, there's no doubt about it. It goes well over 300 miles per hour, and the other stats just kind of don't really matter at that point. The acceleration at max just being over 80 is good enough, and the nitro at 45 at max is actually quite decent for one of those crazy S-Class cars. Obviously with this nitro game mode, it's really hard to get a feel for the nitro because it's so inconsistent depending on what place I am in the race, but it's good enough. So the top speed is really your only big concern with this car, and it's the major factor for why you would want this car, as well as the handling, because some cars do have crazy top speed, but their handling doesn't really live up to the hype, whereas this car actually can. So if you can get this car at a decent star count, obviously you should just go for it. If you have the opportunity to, you may even want to dump the tokens into this car. However, the main problem is that you can't just buy blueprints for tokens. You have to do that weird exchange of 2 blueprints per refresh, that sort of thing. So my real disappointment with this car sort of coincides with my disappointment with the Spotlight event, in the sense that there aren't direct packs for the cars. I would really have liked for the Spotlight events to sort of be a temporary replacement for those burst of speed events, where I can dump my whole bank of tokens into the featured cars, because that should be, I think, a sort of main factor for why these events go on, because otherwise I get my free blueprints and I sort of just leave. Don't get me wrong, I've started up a couple of cars because of this event without spending really a lot of currency. I have spent some of the tokens I have on those refreshes to get that Venom F5, but overall it would have been more satisfying and better as a free-to-play user to just dump tokens into packs. So I'm really disappointed that they don't do that, and hopefully in the next Spotlight event there will be the option to buy more blueprints. That would be nice. But of course, with the Venom F5, you should go for it if you can. It is one of the best cars in the game. I really enjoyed driving it. Maybe I can get it at more stars than just 2, but I doubt it, but we'll see. Anyway guys, I'm very happy that I finally unlocked the Venom F5 in Asphalt Legends Unite. Let me know your progress and your thoughts on not only the Spotlight event and also the Venom F5 in the comment section down below, and I will see you all later.